Hey guys, AJ here. Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero video today. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the top mistakes that you want to avoid when playing Zenless Zone Zero. That way your account has a smooth progression, you're able to clear everything easy, and you don't have to worry about anything and just have the most enjoyable experience playing the game. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start off with the first mistake that you want to avoid in Zenless Zone Zero. That is pulling on the standard banner. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You're saying, AJ, why would I avoid pulling on the standard banner? In gacha games, there's a standard banner and a limited banner, and you get standard pulls. The reason why you don't want to use your standard pulls on the standard banner right away is because you're going to have a special banner, just like all the other Hoyoverse games do give you. Just like in Star Rail, you have a banner where it's going to be maximum 50 pity. This banner is going to get you an early 5-star, so you could get it as early as the first 10 pull or at max 50. Either way, you want to use this banner first to get one of the limited 5-star characters. That way you're good to go and you have extra pulls left over, and then you can decide, do I want to keep spending these extra standard pulls on the standard banner, or did I get it early enough, and do I want to go for maybe one of the weapons in the game that could supercharge or boost my character and take them to the next level. Either way, it's your choice from that point on, but just make sure you're rolling on the special banner first. Cool, let's move on to the next mistake that you want to avoid. Now, the next mistake that you want to avoid is leveling up every character in the game and managing your resources. Now, half the battle with gacha games, right, is obviously you enjoy the game, you play the game, and you have fun and you progress your account. The other half, the thing is that you don't want to level up every character because it is a managed resource game half the time, and I don't think people realize that. In the beginning of every gacha game, you really do have to manage your resources, because if you level up every character, you're going to be stretched thin when it comes down to the mid to late game situations where maybe you can get a character from 60 to 70 to 70 to 80, and you can't do that anymore because you're spread so thin leveling up 5-8 characters. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen accounts that have leveled up 9 to 10 characters that all of a sudden they're not able to progress because they can't get their character higher, and then it becomes tedious trying to clear a stage or engage in any sort of combat in any way. So what you want to do, just make sure you level up your main character that you enjoy playing and grab a couple of their supports, level those guys up, and you're good to go. Alright, let's go on with the next mistake that you want to avoid doing. That is going for multiple DPSs. Why would we avoid going for multiple DPSs when there's different elements in the game and enemies are weak to different elements in the game? So allow me to explain. Currently, right now, in any gacha game, especially a Hoyoverse style or modeled gacha game, most people, and I want to say 95% of the community, is not going to clear the end game. Why? Because we're going to either be free to play or light spenders. The whales, who are the 5% of this game, who are going to max out every character, they're going to spend thousands of dollars on day one getting whoever their favorite character is, getting a limited banner character, E6ing them, or just getting enough copies of them to max them out, getting their weapon. Some might even go for the weapon multiple times to max that out, and they'll just be supercharged to an unrealistic standard that majority of us won't be able to ever do or want to do in general. And they just gonna progress all the content in the game. It's normal for you not to clear the end game right away. So what's most important is to not go for multiple DPSs right away. Go for one DPS and then look at their supports. Look at who pairs well with this person, who pairs well with this person. That way, when you have your team of 3 and you have your rotation going, you have a good solid team that basically will clear you 90% of the content. You just won't be able to finish the last 10%, but that's naturally normal in any of these gacha games. You will over time do it. Plus, you also want to save your resources, like we said before, for other future characters that you want. Eventually, your account will have multiple characters over time with different elements, and you'll be good to go clearing all the endgame content. Let's move on to the next mistake that you want to avoid doing, and it's probably the quickest one we're going to talk about, but it's one of the most important, guys. I know everybody's life situation is different when coming to playing gacha games, so the one thing I encourage you to do is, if you can't play the gacha game too much today, or you can't play the event too much today, please do your dailies. There have been multiple people who just, like, you know, they play casually, but they don't do their dailies at time, or they want to play a story, they want to do this, that's fine. Do whatever, play the game how you want to enjoy. But a big thing is, especially in the early game, even in the mid game, and even in the late game, is doing your dailies. Why are dailies important? Well, if you come from any former Hoyoverse game, or you come from Wuthering Waves, then you guys should understand by now that when you do dailies, not only does it give you a good chunk of XP, not only does it give you a limited currency, which they only give you a little bit, but over time when you do it on a daily basis, it builds up. And it's important. It helps you progress your account faster because of the XP, and most of the time rewards are level gated, you know, so you want to get to that next level so you get more rewards, more stamina fuels, anything like that that can help you progress your account even faster to make the experience enjoyable. Plus, on top of that, the dev team has said that dailies will not take too long. They're not here to waste their time. The Zenless team, I think, understands that everybody has one or two gacha games they're playing at this point. Now, there's so many out. There's so many big ones that are going to be coming out. So they're already made the daily process and the daily grind really fast and really enjoyable to do. That way you don't have to make this mistake of, oh, dailies are going to take too long, I'm going to not play the game, or dailies take too long, I just want to go through the story. No, guys, they made it really fast. It gives you huge benefits. Please do your dailies. Guys, the final mistake that I encourage that you guys listen to carefully, and you guys do not make a mistake on this when Zenless releases, is choosing between Ellen, Joe, and Xu Yan. And now you're going to be thinking, what do you mean by that? So allow me to elaborate. You see, Ellen, Joe, and Xu Yan are going to be the two first 5-star limited banner characters. Now, the thing is that when you're choosing between Ellen, Joe, and Xu Yan, one of the things that you guys have to keep in mind is that Zenless Zone Zero is a combat story focused game. Notice how I'm not saying story focused combat game. It's because right now the heavy emphasis for Zenless is the combat, then the story, which means that every character they want comes out. They want them to feel unique. They want them to play in different ways. They want you to have an enjoyable experience when you're playing a character. But you as a player, you kind of already know what type of playstyles you like. You see, Ellen is an ice type DPS, but she's at melee range. She likes to get in people's faces, maybe dash once from behind, and then just go back in and go ham. Xu Yan, she's a gun user, which has a lot of like with Xu Yan, she is a gun user, and she has like a lot of movement mechanics and cancel mechanics. But I don't want anybody to get discouraged by the fact that I'm saying that, as I do think anybody can literally utilize 80 to 90% of their kit. Guys, it's a Hoyoverse game. They keep it at a casual level for a reason, you know what I mean, so that everybody can enjoy. There is that 10% to each character's kit though, where they do have hidden mechanics and stuff that you can pull off as you're playing them and learning them over time, and you will get better at each character. But again, guys, play style is most important. You don't just want to pull one of the limited 5-star characters just because of the meta, because if you do that and let's say you don't enjoy playing them, you're gonna feel miserable, and then you're probably going to want to re-roll your account, but then you're gonna have to do this entire process over again. Especially if you're free to play, that can be tedious. That's why if you are excited for a certain character and stuff like that, there's information out there. You can look up how their playstyles are, and just see for yourself, like, if you enjoy playing the character at all. With that being said, guys, I think these are the biggest mistakes that I think you should avoid during the launch of Zenless Zone Zero. If you do that, you're going to have a very smooth experience. You're going to enjoy the game, and it's just going to be a fun time for you and the community. That's it, guys. I'm AJ. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as I appreciate the support as we are close to 1K and getting monetized. I will catch y'all next time. Peace.